Okay, here we have one Motorola Bionic, damaged screen. It was dropped on the corner with cracks going down the glass. Fortunately, with this unit, the LCD display is still operational, as well as the touch screen. So only the surface glass part of the digitizer is damaged. Here we have a brand new digitizer glass assembly. Okay, I've removed the Torx T5 screws. Now we'll start separating the unit, and since there's no adhesive, we can see that it's already partially coming apart. So it's not like we're going to have to force this thing apart very much. And I'll just want to get my plastic tool in here. So let's make sure we get all the screws out. Okay. And that comes off. So that is the rear battery compartment cover. Okay, the rest of the unit. Here we have a delicate camera. I say delicate because it is now only attached to the rest of the assembly by a little data ribbon cable. We don't want to mess that up. We have our assembly for the 4G module, actually the SIM part of that, the 4G SIM. That will have to be removed by 2 T5 screws. And that should be all the screws for this assembly. We have a LCD ribbon. This is for the graphics display. And we have 2 connectors here, and these just pop off for the digitizer touchscreen. In order to successfully get these all apart, like I said, we'll need to remove the top part here because there are other cables running down behind it, and you won't be able to get the parts separated without removing it. So remove the 4G SIM assembly. This has a connector to the motherboard up underneath, so you actually fill this side here a little stiff. And all I'm going to do, just be careful, is just kind of pop it up. And you can see where I was talking about the connector that goes into the board here. So there's the 4G SIM. This rubber cover here goes in line with the screw hole mounts. That can just be pulled off carefully. And now we see these ribbon connectors. See if I can get in here a little to show this a little better. Let's see, we have a connector here. And here. So you could probably do these a little faster, but I'd rather take it time and make sure I have it messed up and make sure I do not damage these ribbon cables. You can tell where the connector actually pushes down the motherboard because of these silverish platings. You may choose a different tool, of course. It'll be apparent in a moment why we need to disconnect these. Now I will slide it over here to the other ribbons. Again, we have the digitizer, there we go, getting myself disoriented. Have the digitizer connectors here, these two thin cables, and then we have the one thicker for the LCD graphics display. So let me just pop that loose, and I'm going to fold this back so you can see there's a male connector down into the socket on the motherboard. And this one is above the other one on the end, so I'll pop it loose. And the one below here. So we have all our ribbon cables disconnected that we need. What we're actually looking at right here is 3 different assemblies coming apart. This here on the outside is of course the glass digitizer. The centerpiece is going to be your LCD graphics display, fortunately undamaged in this situation, and then behind is the motherboard. So we have the motherboard loose. I'll set that to the side. We are now looking at the back of the LCD. I'm going to lift it out from the bottom. And these small cables for the ribbon cables for the digitizer are stuck by tape to the back of the LCD, so I'm going to free them up, and then we have the LCD with its one connector loose, which leaves us with the digitizer glass assembly that is getting replaced. Now this thing is sitting in a frame that includes the Verizon bevel and of course the thin edge that goes all the way around. Okay, I'm in the final part of separating this. I can see that the sticky material here almost looks like some kind of rubber glue that, well, I say rubber glue, it turned to a rubbery like compound after it dried, I guess. Was applied as a sealant and adhesive, probably to help keep it together and to help keep moisture out. Notice the control surface for the function buttons at the bottom here. When prying this, you want to make sure that you get, if you're working from the back side, get underneath that. It does not pry on the top, but underneath from this side.